Hi everyone, welcome to Daily Flash, where it's today's trends, tomorrow's talk. I am Matt Doolittle, in for Mitch English.
Yes, I'm Andrea Jackson. This is Daily Flash, your source for trending news and entertainment. Matt, great to have you here at the Big Kids Desk.
Thank you, I'm enjoying it.
Good,
We had to figure
lovely.
out our chair situation because one was higher than the other, and then it's like, we got to balance
got
it out.
my chair, I got
And I'm
yours.
6'2", so I kind of stand out. We've had to figure this out since we started doing this. So you and I take different ways to work. I come from one way, you're coming from the other, right? So you don't see these kids that are waiting for the bus for high school in the pitch black at 6 in the morning, sitting on the curb where it turns a hard right. There's 4 or 5 of them every morning when I have to come here. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Like, I want to get out and old man yell at them and be like, and it's not like there's a big turn lane there, and you can't see that well. And they're in their hoodies, of course,
Right, of course.
and in a dark hoodie. And I was just sitting there, I'm like, y'all
On their phone,
on
with their
phone,
earbuds in.
and I'm like, what is wrong with you kids? Like, I want to get out and yell, but I'm like, it's not my place. It's them. But you know, survival of the fittest, I guess.
Well, I'll take your conversation a step further, and here's what I don't understand. Why are you making high school kids, 15, 16, junior high, high school kids, middle school, whatever you want to call them, 13 to 17, wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to catch a bus? Why don't you let them sleep in? Why don't you let them start school at 8 or 9 o'clock?
The old excuse I used to get from high school was so that you can go to work.
Okay.
So that you can get done with school and for sports, so you can get done with everything by 2:30 or 3, get home, change, and because I used to when I used to work at the shoe stores, usually my shifts were like, because of the time, because I was 16, it was like 5 to 9. So I had time to go home, change, and if they have football practice or whatever, it's so they can get done before it's dark outside.
Yeah.
So there's no real focus on education. It's more or less so you can go to work.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so here's my question. I have the same question about daylight saving time. I mean,
that's dumb.
You know,
That's dumb.
that was for farming. I get it back in the day, but can we maybe evolve and just keep the clocks at one particular time?
Every year, and I think Arizona adopted it, but the rest of the country is like, no, you're sticking with it because the airlines weren't going to change, because a lot of it has to do with the airline times across the world.
Sure.
But every year there are at least 5 or 6 states. I think Florida did it this year, where it's on a ballot, or we're talking about it, or it's like, can we please end this?
Never
it doesn't
goes anywhere.
help anybody.
No, it doesn't. And the other thing too, back to the school schedule thing. I mean, I understand, like James had mentioned, you know, what our priority is on after school sports and kids working part-time jobs. I don't know about you guys, but I see these kids get home at like 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and some days they have half days. I'm like,
oh yeah,
what?
they get off early on
Where
Wednesdays.
was this when I was in school?
Yeah, I had the Wednesdays.
But they didn't care
where I got
about
out
us.
at 1:30.
During our time, we were drinking out of water hoses, standing out until the street lights came on and all that good stuff.
There you
Running
go.
around in the alleys.
We didn't have the cell phones and everything. These kids these days.
You had no way to track us.
I'm waiting for what to just come by and see like not 3 of these kids there because they get their legs taken off or something.
Oh, now come on, Matt.
No,
come
they're
on.
dumb. They're sitting on the curb. Like, and these cars fly around and you can't see them. What is with these kids?
We've officially crossed into the old man in the yard. Wow, that just completely took a left turn.
I'm just saying. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. All right. Well, the pet cloning business is booming here in the U.S. ViaGen is a company that is cloning roughly 200 pets a year. While cloning is getting increasingly popular, it remains quite expensive. Pet owners can expect to pay around $55,000 to clone their favorite pooch. In order to clone a pet, ViaGen uses tissue cells that are harvested and frozen before or right after the animal dies. ViaGen charges $150 a year plus an initial $1,600 fee for anyone looking to start the process. The cloning involves operating on 2 animals, both the egg donor and the surrogate. Prior to ViaGen making pet cloning available in the US, pet owners were using companies in South Korea to create their dogs.
Okay.
I don't know. My dad thought about this with his last dog, and I just was looking at him like, you're not going to get the same dog. It's not the way it was brought up and trained and everything. That's the personality you're getting. It's just not enough on him. It comes out with an extra arm or something. I don't know.
Well, it's a good conversation for nature versus nurture, because part of it is nature, yes, but then the other part is nurture. How are you bringing it up? How are you training it? What kind of environment is it coming into?
And isn't part of one of the things of owning an animal, like you have it for a short amount of time, so enjoy it, not knowing, I'll get part 2.
Yeah, part of it is. But then I think, if you're able to kind of keep that pet going or living, maybe it's worth it.
And every movie, the clone comes out evil.
It is true. Speaking of movies, must-watch movies coming up. We're going to talk about The Last Showgirl with Pam.